Hey everyone, welcome to episode 12 of SIFTD HQ, the loot crate of gaming shows. This episode we're going to plow forward with Mitch's PC build that you guys are all helping him with, and we have the debut of a brand new segment. Let's check it out.
If you're looking for the best games, albums, movies, and TV shows coming this week, you've just hit the jackpot. Welcome to Turned Up Tuesday. The game selection is slim, but there are a couple releases worth considering. If you enjoy the speed and strategy of Super Meat Boy and Celeste, Emma Lost Memories is your platforming princess. In this hand-drawn 2D platformer, Emma runs away from home and quickly regrets it. The twist is that the walls in the platforms are constantly disappearing as she touches them. Each jump matters when it comes to PlayStation 4, and yes, you're hearing this right, PlayStation Vita on Friday. It's already available for PC. Just like the real MLB season, Super Mega Baseball 3 was delayed. Unlike real baseball, opening day is here for this arcade-style hardball game. This season it has new features like franchise mode, updated visuals, base stealing, and deeper player attributes, but it still doesn't have the real teams and players. It's a bummer, but it's not like there's a lot of competition. It steps up to the plate on all major platforms on Wednesday. If there's one entertainment medium that hasn't suffered from the pandemic, it's music. The new albums just keep on coming. There are many hair bands from the 80s, but few are as enduring as Bon Jovi. The group has never really changed its sound much, and its 15th studio album launches on Friday. Titled simply 2020, when you have accomplished that much, you can start naming your albums like they're sports video games. 2 singles have already been released if you want a preview. If you like pop divas with an edge, Charli XCX releases her 4th studio album, How I'm Feeling Now, on Friday. She may be a new name to you from the last couple years, but she's been banging around for quite a while as part of the underground scene. Her breakthrough continues with another collaboration of catchy electro-pop tracks with tons of collaborations with other popular artists like Diplo. Our indie pick of the week comes from Perfume Genius. Its new album, Set My Heart on Fire Immediately, uses the fuzzed-out bass of Sonic Youth, slide guitar influences from country music, plenty of electronics, and so much more. It's all tied together with harmonies from both male and female vocalists, and the album remains unpredictable from song to song. It's been a barren wasteland for weeks, but we're finally primed for some quality screen time. Take your kids back to your own childhood when SCOOB from Warner Animation Group launches on VOD Friday. The animation and art style are unlike anything else, and the group of crime-fighting teens seem to transcend generational gaps. It was originally supposed to be released in theaters, and they would have got away with it too if it weren't for that meddling COVID-19. David Spade is great at playing cynical, biting characters, so he should be great in just about any rom-com. That's the idea with the Netflix film The Wrong Missy. Starting alongside Lauren Lapkus, the plot centers around a case of mistaken identity. If you like Dickie Roberts' former child star or Tommy Boy, then it's worth a watch when it launches today. Parasite's Oscar award-winning director Bong Joon-ho was already well known in smaller circles for another film he directed called Snowpiercer. It's set in a world suffering a man-made ice age where one train is the only thing keeping the human race from extinction. It's been rebooted for a TV series that debuts on TNT Sunday night. The series has been in development hell for the last few years, but the concept is too hard to resist, and it's already been confirmed for a 2nd season.
And so, I'm sure there will be, my guess is the beginning of the game is going to send you out on some, crazy, awesome, badass Viking raid, like what you're describing. But then you'll leave. You torch the place, you kill the, you loot the stuff, and you kill the people, and you take the things, and you whatever. And one of the things you loot happens to be
an
apple.
First
civilization. Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like that's going to be that village's sacred object or something, and you take it, and somebody's like, "Don't take it," and you take it, and the whole place shakes, and I swear to God, I don't have any inside info on this game, but I guarantee you. And you sail back, and they'll put the title Assassin's Creed Kingdom up as you sail into the harbor of your home Viking village, and everybody will come out, and you'll do the slow walk through the whole village back up to the
look what he
longhouse.
brought back. He has the apple.
The kids will run out, and the dog will come out, and your character will pet the dog, so you like your character now because he pets dogs. And you get up to the longhouse, and the chief, who's probably your dad or your uncle or something, comes out. It's like, what have you brought back? We brought back many things.
Yeah.
And then they'll have the whole thing. They'll find this thing, and it'll go and it'll dissolve somebody important, and then they'll blame you for it, and you have to leave the village and go out into the world and recruit your whole group, and then you'll run into somebody who's like some kind of proto-Assassin's Guild guy, and you'll end up like helping them, and then they'll find out you have one of those artifacts, like, oh, I'm going to stick with you, and then that's how you're going to end up on this whole quest to figure out what the Templars are doing and all this. I mean, you know I'm right. You know that's exactly what this fucking game is
that's how they all
be.
play out.
It was the biggest week of game announcements since SIFTD HQ launched. We've got a lot of games to share in Noobs this week, so let's get straight to it. When the rubber hits the road, Codemasters is one of the best at developing racing games. It's back with its best-selling franchise as Dirt 5 pulls up to the starting grid. You'll be rally racing across the globe on gravel, ice, snow, and sand. There's also an online career mode and 4-player split screen. It's coming to current-gen systems this October and next-gen platforms whenever they launch. Unfortunately, Switch is left in the dust. Turok Dinosaur Hunter is a beloved franchise that helped put the N64 on the map, but the series might as well be extinct at this point. That doesn't mean that hunting dinosaurs is a dead concept though. Enter Second Extinction, a Left 4 Dead style co-op shooter that asks you to circumvent evolution and wipe the terrible lizards from the earth once again. Best of all, what you and your crew accomplish help achieve global goals. Become a dinosaur hunter once more on Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and PC this fall. Konami is being a bunch of jerks and won't give us a new Silent Hill game. That's alright, because the team behind spooky games like Layers of Fear and The Observer has announced a brand new IP called The Medium. Best of all, Silent Hill's composer is creating the soundtrack. You play as a woman who exists in 2 different worlds, but the game's only coming to Microsoft's world on PC and Xbox Series X. Expand your boundaries this fall. Madden generally takes baby steps from one season to the next, but that's not an option with Madden NFL 21. It's the first installment of the franchise for Generation 9 consoles, so there are no timeouts. It's slated for August on current-gen machines, but let's hope it doesn't end up gimping the big boy versions that launch in the fall. The tagline for this year's game is Feel Next Level, and that's exactly what players are going to expect. First entries on prior consoles haven't been great, but hopefully EA can break the other Madden curse. It was a big week of announcements, and undoubtedly the dark horse winner is Call of the Sea. This mysterious first-person adventure has you playing as a woman in search of her missing husband on a tropical island in the 1930s. The twist is that your husband is an archaeologist searching for a lost civilization. It's a time period not explored enough in games, and the trailer has some snippets that should foster intrigue when it launches for Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and PC this fall. Sci-fi is such a fun genre because the ideas are only limited by the imagination. Chorus has them in no short supply. In this space shooter, you play as Nara on a mission to kill her creators. That means a whole lot of zero-G dogfights with their Sentinel AI companion Forsaken, and plenty of mind-bending abilities like telekinesis and teleportation. This genre rarely tells a good story, so we're intrigued by its cinematic leanings. There's plenty of time for that anticipation to build since it doesn't release until 2021 for every major platform under the sun except Switch.
It's time for the 6 biggest news stories in gaming for the week ending May 12th, 2020. I'm Shane Satterfield for SIFTD News, and this is The Big 6. It's been almost 4 years since MAFIA 3 was released, and it looks like we're about to get a peek at the next project. A new trademark was issued for MAFIA in September of 2019, and now the official trailer account has started teasing an announcement. However, clues have pointed to both a remake of the first 2 Mafia games and a brand new game in Mafia 4. We shouldn't have to wait too long to get the real story. This week, Xbox held a digital-only event called Inside Xbox to profile some of the third-party games coming to Xbox Series X. Several new games were announced, with a couple being Xbox exclusives, and more footage of Assassin's Creed Valhalla was shown. However, some fans were disappointed that there was very little actual gameplay in the presentation. Currently, there are over 30,000 dislikes on the video on YouTube. Another stream is coming in July that will focus on Microsoft's first-party lineup. E3 is going to be a little strange this year, but that's not stopping CD Projekt Red from promoting Cyberpunk 2077 next month. On June 11th, there will be a massive blowout for the next game from the studio behind The Witcher. The date coincides with another Microsoft event, and we already know that Xbox has locked down a marketing deal for the game. In other Cyberpunk 2077 news, it has been confirmed that it will include first-person sex and customizable genitals. Now we can all have the wang of our dreams. Bethesda has been going through a rough patch the last couple years, and it doesn't appear that there is any relief in sight. The company's SVP of Communications, Pete Hines, responded to a fan on Twitter who was asking about the Elder Scrolls VI. Hines replied that it's coming after Starfield releases, and Starfield is still a long ways away. In other words, the next Elder Scrolls game is still years and years away from release. It really makes you wonder why Bethesda released its debut trailer way back at E3 2018. Fighting games and DLC are like peanut butter and jelly, but it hardly ever expands into the game's story elements. That all changes with Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. This story-based expansion that launches May 26th will include 3 new playable characters, including RoboCop, and picks up right after the base game ends. The DLC also includes friendships and stage fatalities. A free update that launches the same day includes new stages and more. Hopefully, this sets a precedent that other fighting game developers will follow. Many were disappointed with the release of Mass Effect Andromeda because it took a detour too far away from the original trilogy. Instead of trudging forward with a new Mass Effect game, Jeff Grubb from VentureBeat is reporting that EA and BioWare will instead create remakes of the first 3 games. While it may feel like it's coming a bit too soon, it's been over 8 years since Mass Effect 3 launched, so there's an entirely new generation of players to cater to. According to Grubb, it's currently slated for release within the next 12 months. However, there will not be a Switch version at first. All right, that's it for the Big Six, the 6 biggest news stories in gaming for the week ending May 12th, 2020. I'm Shane Satterfield for SIFTD News, and I'll see you next week.
Hey Sifters, welcome back to Make It, where we make things in front of you for your entertainment. And today is part 2 of our PC Make It special. In part 1, I reached out letting you know I wanted to build a PC and let you know my budget, what I wanted my PC to do, and some parts I had in mind to build the PC with. And I got a lot of feedback. I first want to say thank you so much. The overwhelming support I've had in building this PC so far is the reason why I'm here with SIFTD. I love this community, and seeing the support I've gotten has reinforced that in every way possible. So I just want to say thank you. A lot of you gave feedback on small things, but also bigger things as well, and have helped me form into what I think is a wonderful PC that I'm really looking forward to. The parts have been ordered. They are on their way. Take a look at the parts I ordered for my PC. For my processor, on SIFTD, Shelburne and a vast majority of you reached out to say that I should upgrade my Ryzen 7 to a 3700X, so that's what I did. You all also recommended that I should go with the Tomahawk motherboard, but unfortunately that was entirely out of stock, so I had to go with the MSI X570A Pro AM4 ATX motherboard. Cinetic from SIFTD recommended I ditch the RGB and use that money towards improving my RAM. So I went with the G-Skills Ripjaw V-Series 16GB to 8GB of DDR4 3600 memory. Herbatronic had the right idea and was leading me in the right way for my SSD. I just decided to lower the gigabytes a little bit and do a 500 instead of 900. The graphics card was the thing that was under the most debate. Many of you reached out and said I should get a lower end graphics card and wait about 3 or 4 months and hopefully see a drop in the current gen of graphics cards. But due to the understanding circumstances of COVID-19, I'm not sure if that's really going to happen, so I decided to just go with the best one I could purchase, which would be the GeForce RTX 2060 8GB graphics card. For future proofing purposes, I decided to up my wattage on my power supply and go with a 550. Many of you recommended an abundance of different kinds of cases, but I decided to go with the one I currently had. Because of my choice in case, Vinuraba recommended that I should get a couple fans to help the airflow within my PC, and he picked out some pretty nice ones for me too. I have 2 Fractal Design X2 GP12s and they're in white, matching the case. With everything put together, the final cost ended up being $1,181.88. So almost at my top part of my budget, but I do believe a lot of these parts will help future-proof my PC and allow me to keep it for a much longer period of time. There you go, those are my parts for my PC, and they're on the way right now. I'm so excited to build this with you guys. So I ask in the comments below, if you've ever built a PC before, let me know some general tips that I might need to know. Or if you know any of the parts that I'm using specifically and you know an in and out about it, let me know as well. And the final thing, in the comments, if you can help me out, I do not have a monitor and I do not have a keyboard. I do have a mouse though, so I'm all clear there. But for the monitor, I don't want to spend anything above $500, and for a keyboard, I don't want to spend over $100 on a keyboard. So with those price points, if you have recommendations, let me know in the comments and I'd love to take a look at them. Looking forward to the next part with you guys when we build my PC.
All right, that's it for Sifted HQ episode 12. A big thanks to Sifter Cartoon Tom for creating that awesome animation from Game Face. I've watched it 20 times and I have laughed every single time. So go back and give it another watch. I also want to say, you guys are awesome. It is amazing how talented you guys are. Not just Cartoon Tom, a lot of you guys have done graphics for us. You've done stuff on the site for us. The talent pool at sifted.net is pretty darn impressive. So thank you guys very much for anything that you've done. Next week, we'll plow on with Mitch's PC build. We should start putting this sucker together. Thanks for all your help on that, and we'll see you next week.